Hey folks, this is Rachel Parker with The Resonance, and I am so excited about today's vlogcast because not only are we doing our first video interview, and I hope it's going to be the first of many, but we are interviewing my friend Shelley Roth. Now, if you're in Houston, you probably know Shelley. She is the owner of Springboard Social Media, and she is also the author of last year's bestseller, Get Real People, How to Use Social Media for Relationship Marketing. And she has written another book this year called Shedding Your Sales Shark, Lessons from a Recovering Sales Shark and How to Apply Them to Social Media Marketing and Life. It's a great title and it's a great book. We had a lot of fun talking about it, and I hope you'll find it interesting. So here's our interview, and I'm going to be back with some great information about the launch day activities, which include some really cool giveaways. So make sure you stick around. Here's Shelley. Sure, my pleasure. Before we launch into your book, let's tell the audience a little bit about what you do at Springboard Works.
Okay. My company is Springboard Works, but I say Springboard Social Media because it's real important to have keywords in your name, as I've learned the hard way. And what I do at Springboard is I do training, consulting, and speaking on social media, the top social media networks. That's what I've been doing for almost 6 years now, so it's been quite some time, and I'm also a constant contact local expert.
Okay, great. Wow, 6 years in social media world, that's like eons.
Yes, I'm starting to feel it.
I hear you. So last year you published a best-selling book called Get Real People, How to Use Social Media for Relationship Marketing. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what prompted you, because you already have a successful business, obviously, what prompted you to become an author?
Wow, I guess you did. I'm just going winging it here, but I think I've always had a book in me, and I didn't know what it was. And what really prompted me to write this book in particular was when I got on social media and I realized there are so many people that aren't real out there. There's avatars of themselves, and they are who they ever make up who they want to be. And when I was trying to find someone to help me early stages of my business and train me on social media, I ended up finding a guy, after drilling down and going down many rabbit holes, was a convicted felon. Oh. Yes, and that kind of made me realize, you know what, get real, people, and social media is all about building those real relationships. So that's where it all started.
Great. And did anything surprising come out of that experience, out of publishing your first book?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing that, the biggest surprise is my ego used to be huge, and my ego is thankfully pretty much in check. That's probably why it took me this long to write a book, because it's funny, people think of you and regard you as more of a professional and have more creed, if you will, if you have a book. It's just very interesting. I'm the same person, but now I have a book, so actually 2 books.
That's right. And one thing you did not mention is that you hit #1 on Amazon Business Books list.
Oh, not #1, number 6.
Oh, number 6.
Number 6.
Sorry, number 6 still.
In that moment in time, I also learned that if you do a lot of stuff like book launches and like you do all with your marketing and content marketing, which, by the way, Rachel's going to be doing my content marketing for my next book, my marketing. I realized that you really can drive that. I'm not sure that's the reason you should do it, but we became number 6 in that moment in time in sales and marketing on Amazon.
Great. And I just want to mention that it's still available on Amazon, so if anyone has not read it, I highly recommend it.
Thank you.
So here we are 1 year later, and you are publishing your second book, which is called Shedding Your Sales Shark, Lessons from a Recovering Sales Shark and How to Apply Them to Social Media Marketing and Life. And of course, this is not out yet, but I have an advance copy of the cover, so we have an idea what that's going to look like. So, so what was your motivation for writing this book?
I think it's kind of almost a little bit of a personal story about I was a sales shark, and I worked for a big software, Fortune 500 software company, and one other company, and spent 20 years in corporate
Mm.
America, and I
Mhm.
was terrific at being a sales shark. However, what's changed for me over the last 5.5 years since I've been doing social media is the old model of being a sales shark doesn't work. And so I thought, well, I'll follow my last book with a shedding, and it's real hard to say. You have to say it slowly or you might be swearing. Shedding your sales shark. So that's what kind of prompted me was to,
Mhm.
as a follow-on to the
Mhm.
first one.
Mhm. Great. And when you say sales shark, I'm sure a lot of us have different concepts of what that looks like. What is your definition of a sales shark?
Um, I'm going to look in the book and make sure so that I
Okay.
basically my definition is it's really not limited to just sales types, even though that's my background. It's really anybody that could be in corporate America or working for a company, and they're just not being their authentic self.
Mm.
They're being someone that they're not being, and it's where creative thinking and feeling with your heart are really not, they're really frowned upon. They're not encouraged. And
Mhm.
so that usually to me is a corporate environment. And certainly
Mm.
when I was told that we don't pay you to think in this corporate company, I knew it was time for me to become the entrepreneur that I was born to be.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, great. So you start off with a very personal account of your journey, of your career path. Can you take just a quick 2 minutes and give us an overview of what that journey was like?
Oh my gosh. Is that starting back to when I was on the stage? Is that what you're referring to? I guess I'll sum it up as very early on, I was really little Shelley from her heart, all peaches and rosy and all that, until I won a contest. And the prize for the contest, it was a Halloween costume, and I love Halloween. The prize was a
Uh-huh.
silver dollar, and long story short, you'll have to read the book to find out what happened. But it transformed me from being purely from myself and trusting in my authentic, real nature
Mhm.
to having to make up somebody that I wasn't, more or
Mm.
less. On the stage, whether it was as in corporate America or with
Mhm.
friends or family, um, just all the roles that we play. So the journey took me all through being a top salesperson, traveling the world, but really not being any of that. Really not
Mm.
realizing
Mhm.
until most recently that who I am is the the authentic person, and helping others realize that being real and being
Mhm.
true to yourself is what it's all about.
Mhm. Mhm. Great. So from there, you launch into 7 lessons, and you call them lessons learned by getting real. And these are kind of 7 lessons that you've taken from your journey to recovering sales shark, as you call yourself. So I want to just highlight a few of these. The first one I definitely want to talk about because it's such a part of your philosophy, and that is give to grow. So talk a little bit about what give to grow means to you.
Well, I think I've always felt this inside, but I always felt that I wasn't rewarded. I had it made up that no, it's give to get. If I give you something, I better get something. That was my training.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to help you, I expect something in return. And I think a lot of us out there do that. Now, working with my coaches, energy arts coaches, and editors of my book, it was very clear, and I'm living it, that it's all about just giving, and if you give, you will grow. There is no doubt in my mind. When you come from scarcity,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the world of social media, people sense that. I mean, I talk about digital body language in my book, and if you're coming from scarcity, I don't care if it's when you're posting something on your status update or you're writing on your blog. If you come from I have to, or you come from not giving to grow, you're really
Mm-hmm.
giving truly because you want to help people or help train them on something, it makes a huge difference. And I've never had to worry about making another dollar the day that I started living that philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Great, great. Lesson number 4, being flawsome is awesome. And I love that word, flawsome. Tell us a little bit about what that means.
I heard somebody use that. I certainly can't take the credit for coining that, but it basically means that when you're out there now, people don't expect perfection. As a matter of fact, studies have been shown if you go to a review of a book or a restaurant and there's nothing but perfect 5 stars everywhere, they don't trust it. So people don't expect that perfection anymore. They really do. If you have flaws and you have some bumps, that's what they want to see. And there's no truer expression of that in my video newsletter that I do every Friday. And if you've ever watched them, you will see they are quite flawsome. There's a lot of flaws because I don't care about looking good on camera. Sometimes I'll be wearing a baseball cap. And what I've learned from the whole experience is people want to know you. They want to relate to you and who you are. And all that will come back to you, and they don't expect you to be perfect. So.
It's something I find, especially with videos, it's like almost like the slicker it is, the less people trust it.
Exactly. You're exactly right. I believe that 100%. Not that your videos are very, very good, especially when you keep your green screen back there. I love that.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
And then the final lesson, number 7, is something very practical, which is get an accountability coach. So tell us a little bit what you mean by an accountability coach.
Well, if you're anything like me, I can tell you I'm going to do something, and 99.9% of the time it's going to happen. If you know Shelley, you know that's true. What I find, though, is when Shelley says to Shelley, hey, go do this, Shelley doesn't hold Shelley accountable. It's very easy to get off the hook. And what I've found is it's crazy, but we are least accountable to ourselves when we give our word to ourselves. Like, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to write the book, I'm going to get on Facebook, whatever it is. We tell ourselves that, but yet we don't hold ourselves accountable, which is really flawed. But I believe that
and not in a Flawsome way.
And not in a Flawsome way. Thank you for clarifying that. That's right. Not in a Flawsome way. If you get an accountability coach and you have somebody hold you accountable, basically put it on the calendar that every Friday I'm going to contact Rachel and say, hey, Rachel, did you get that blog up that you promised? Because you promised me I'd see a blog every Thursday, is it, or Wednesday? Wednesday? When do you send your blog out?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, sorry. I didn't see your blog, and you told me I'd see it every Tuesday. So that way, if you have someone else holding you accountable, you're much more likely to be your word.
Definitely. And people can actually, it doesn't actually have to be, a one-way street. People can actually buddy up on accountability.
Yes, you can have an accountability partner, a buddy system. Absolutely. Great idea.
So then you go on to talk about how in our current environment, and you use the phrase sales sharks are becoming dinosaurs because the market has evolved so much. Can you kind of briefly describe what this evolution has looked like and what that means for marketers?
If anybody's been using social media, the one cardinal sin on social media is to be selling, to be thumping your chest, to be a chest thumper, to try and sell something. It's just totally changed the way we sell. And anybody out there, I mean, that's probably the biggest pushback I get from my clients is, what do you mean I can't sell? Isn't that what social media is all about? No, it's all about relationship building. Nothing's changed over the years. It's really always been about building relationships. But now with marketing, what's crucial is if you're not adding value to the people that are connected to you or following you, your fans, your likes, if you're not adding value and you're not answering the question, what's in it for them, and it's all about what's in it for you, then I say don't post it, don't publish it, don't do it, because it really has changed the way we do business out there.
Yeah, and just from my experience, I notice I'm seeing a shift offline too. For example, I bought a car earlier this year, and I put it off as long as possible because the last time I bought a car was 12 years ago, and I was just astounded how different the experience is. The high pressure sales tactics are gone. The little sneaky things they do, the calling is gone. It's really been a global shift.
Wow, I'll tell you, I'm going to go to your salesman because that was definitely not my experience last year when I bought a new vehicle.
Oh, really?
The sales sharks are still alive and well, in my opinion, in the retail world, and they're still online as well. I mean,
oh, sure.
But that's good to hear. You gave me encouragement for my next vehicle.
Yeah, there you go. And there are lots of people who need your book.
Yes, they do. They do. They
Yep.
need to let that go. And I'm a recovering sales shark. My editors wanted to say recovered, and no, it's something I'll always be. It's almost
Mm-hmm.
ingrained, and sometimes you just have to stop yourself.
Yep, definitely. So you close out the book with a section called Social Soup, and I thought this was really interesting because you kind of take the first part of the book and apply it to your key area of expertise, which is social media. So you go through and you talk about each network, including Pinterest and Google Plus, which we're on right now, so that's great. And so tell me about how, just kind of in general terms, how these principles apply to us in social media.
Well, actually, the original book was going to be called Social Soup.
Okay.
Because I realized that you really do have to have the right ingredients in your social media mix, and so in each social network is different. So, for example, um, LinkedIn is kind of the professionals button down, and Pinterest adds the spice of graphics and visuals, and each network just lends itself to creating your image out there. And so the social soup part was really just how to look at each network as unique in and of itself. And in my opinion, we don't have time to be on every network and do them justice unless we outsource our content management to someone like Rachel, which I do myself. I'm giving Rachel props here.
Where's that tiara?
Yeah, where is that tiara? Get the effect. Wait a minute.
We were playing with Google Plus before we got online and playing with some graphics.
Wait, we got to get Rachel something. Hold on, hold on. Oh no, that's going to be me. I'm going to put the tiara on me, although this is for Rachel.
Yeah. Okay.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Hail to the Queen.
Yeah, hail to the Queen. So, oh, now I can't get rid of my Queen. Wait a minute. Let me get rid of that. That's too goofy. Silly hats. Okay, remove all effects. There we go. Okay. So I think it's important. You might not have the time to be on there, so you find someone like Rachel and Resonance that does a fantastic job. Not speaking on your behalf, being themselves, signing their own name, but helping you be on all those networks, because it's most important for your SEO to make sure that you are represented on every one of those social networks, even though everyone has its own personality and is very, very different.
Right, sure. So finally, you wrap up by talking about digital body language, which was very much a theme of your first book. So how can we as marketers, you mentioned we can't be selling all the time, what are some other ways we can avoid coming across as sales sharks when we're out there on the social web?
The first thing is, of course, your picture, which is the easiest piece of digital body language. Consider the image that you put out there. You know, how do you want people to feel about it? So that's the easy thing. When you're sharing and posting status updates, writing blogs, again, if you ask yourself the question, what's in it for them, and the answer is nothing, then don't do it, because people can sense that. The other thing I think that's really important, I just talked about it in a class this morning, is if you're posting, whether it's a blog post, a video that you're doing, a newsletter, a status update, ask yourself the question, if you're coming from, I have to do this, I have to do a status update, I have to do my blog, it's Tuesday, people sense that. I can tell you to any status update I've ever done on Facebook that came from I have to do it. Today is Monday, Motivational Monday. It's Friday, Fact or Fiction Friday. And when I post something from have to versus want to, I get zero engagement, zero response. It's just amazing, amazing. So that's kind of what I mean by digital body language.
Great. It's almost, and it's almost like when you have that give to grow ingrained in you when you're posting, then you get better results.
Absolutely, totally. Yep.
Fantastic. Well, the book is Shedding Your Sales Shark, Lessons from a Recovering Sales Shark and How to Apply Them to Social Media Marketing and Life, and that is going to launch on
November 28th. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff going on, giveaways.
Okay, so I know you have a chat planned. You've got a couple of interviews.
I have a Facebook live chat using a new app on Facebook called Link2. It's going to be a live chat. You do not have to turn on the video if you don't want to, so you can kind of hang out just in a traditional chat room. Then I'm going to be on a radio show at 2 o'clock, a blog talk radio show with Cara Riley, and then that evening on Social Geek Radio, another blog talk radio with AK Stout at 7 o'clock. So those are 3 activities going on. What we're going to be doing, everyone that buys my book that day is going to get a free seat in my next Insider webinar, which features guest Rachel Parker.
That's me!
And Rachel is coming to speak on content marketing, which is her specialty, and I'm really excited. But I thought, you know what? Why not everyone that buys a book that day, why not let them come to the webinar, which is, if it were a webinar, it'd be a $35 value. So
there you go.
Yeah. We'll also be giving away books. And we also you'll be entered in a drawing for 3 video critiques that I'm going to give away.
Oh, wonderful.
Video critiques of your Facebook page and LinkedIn page.
Great, great. So lots going on November 28th.
Yes.
And that is, of course, and now the book will be available on Amazon.
It's going to be available in a few days, but the launch day is when you want to buy it, only because you'll get more stuff.
Because of the freebies.
Yeah.
Okay. And the holidays are coming up, so if there are any sale sharks in your family or your circle of friends, you can give it anonymously, slip it into their stocking. I don't know how it got there, must have been Santa Claus, or because as we've agreed, there are a lot of people out there who really need these principles.
That's hysterical. I love it. For the recovering sales shark in you. 10-step program to recovering.
That's right. That's right. There is help. Well, Shelley, thank you so much for taking time to sit down and talk with us today.
Absolutely. And if anyone wants to be included in my my festivities, please email Rachel or myself at sroth, SROTH, at ShelleyRoth.com. That's with an EY, ShelleyRoth.com.
And also put a link in the description.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So people can find you. So I guess we will see you on November 28th. And good luck with the book, and look forward to your next one.
Thanks so much for having me, Rachel. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Shelley. Hey folks, me again. Hope you enjoyed our interview with Shelley Roth about her new book, Shedding Your Sales Shark. I just wanted to tell you about a few festivities she has coming up for the date of the book launch, which is November 28th. That's going to be the Wednesday after Thanksgiving, and there's a lot of stuff you don't want to miss. She's going to be giving away signed copies of the book throughout the day through her Blog Talk Radio interviews. We'll be talking about that in a second. If you buy the book on the 28th, you will be you can enter a drawing for a free video critique of your Facebook or LinkedIn business page, and that's a $125 value. Very, very cool stuff. And also, you will, if you buy the book on the 28th, you will receive a free seat in a live webinar on December 3rd, and that topic is going to be content marketing, and I'm going to have the privilege of being Shelley's guest speaker. So really looking forward to that, something you don't want to miss. Also on the 28th, there will be a live chat starting at 11, so you can, if you like what Shelley had to say in our interview, you can show up and ask her your own questions about the book or about her background or about social media or whatever you want. It should be a really, really fun time. So all this information is on Shelley's webpage, and the short link for that is bit.ly/salesshark. Now, if you're typing that in, remember that bit.ly is case sensitive, so you want to capitalize both of those S's to make sure you get it. And I'll put the link in my in the description below. So anyway, it's been so great coming to you today, so great to share the great news about Shelley's new book with you, and I wish you a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care.